Contact us here at lunchtime, 53106, or you can low call 085 106 9108. The vessel, the Rachel Corrie, is named after the young Irish woman who was killed by an Israeli bulldozer during a protest on the Gaza Strip. That's over 7 years ago now. And Rachel's father, Craig, joins me on the line. Good afternoon, Craig.
Good morning from here.
Good morning from there. Great. Okay. You're back in the public eye because of the vessel. I know you're proud is named after your daughter. What's your latest information on the actual vessel itself before we widen the discussion?
Well, we know it is going towards the Gaza Strip. They're determined to continue with their voyage. It was interrupted because the ship itself had some mechanical problems, but they are determined to go forward. And I don't really know when it will land, but we certainly demand that it be allowed to go directly through to Gaza, and they're determined to try to do that. So I think that I'm very grateful that there's people like you that are keeping track of it and watching it go forward. I think that's very necessary.
Yeah, we actually spoke to Mairead Corrigan-Maguire, the Nobel laureate, who was on board yesterday, but unfortunately it was in a satellite phone, so we couldn't use it. It just wasn't of broadcast quality. It would have driven people mad because it was every second word we were getting good. But at that stage, they were 800 off the coast of Gaza, which does seem like an awful long distance. And presumably they're being monitored very closely by Israeli intelligence.
Yes, I would be pretty certain that they are, but let's make sure that they're monitored by the people of the world. You know, it's just, I know their effort is a great one. It's very similar to what Rachel did when states fail to act to protect people, then we individuals, just citizens of the world, have to go in. So they're trying to break that siege, and I think that it needs to be part of it. They're trying to take some very real relief also to Gaza. I think about a little bit about what the cargo is on board that ship. I know it's concrete. My wife and I were in Gaza twice last year, and they badly need building materials, which are not being allowed in, so there's some concrete, and that'll be helpful. I think there's 6 tons of school supplies that Norway has supplied, and when we went in, each time we take like a roller suitcase full of crayons and pencils and paper and stuff, and you give it to a few kids, and that was nice. You know, it's a pleasant, nice thing to do, but it's a drop in the bucket. Here there's going to be some, real help. But again, states need to follow up. It would be so much better if the states of the world just simply said enough of that blockade and not only got the humanitarian aid into Gaza, but also helped Gaza become a normalized part of the world.
Well, which is key to so many elements in this absolutely, in this political quagmire. I mean, in the 7 years since Rachel died, have things deteriorated? I mean, they weren't great then. Have they deteriorated hugely?
Yes, I guess I would say so. The people there seem to continue to be strong, but the attack of December of 2008 and January 2009 was just horrendous. You see miles of devastated homes up north. The infrastructure, the Israelis bombed and destroyed, for instance, the sewage system. So raw sewage is going out into the Mediterranean. You know, talk about fouling your own nest. That goes on back up north towards Haifa and Tel Aviv. It's mindless. It's ugly, and people hold on. People of Ireland know what it is to struggle, and the people of Gaza, and of course the people I know, the people that were behind the wall that Rachel was in front of, are just folks. And Rachel was there, and she worked with, I suppose he was about a 12-year-old, 13-year-old boy among the children that lived in the home that she stood in front of. And she worked with him and his sisters, cousins, to learn English. And when we were back there in the spring of last year, he told us that he had changed his college major. You know, he's older now. He's changed his college major to English. It's such a human thing, such an optimistic thing, such a thing it's a common sort of thing, whatever, but just to think of these kids growing older. We need to work so that all those kids have the future that we want for our own children.
You mentioned Irish people suffering. I think, to be fair, contemporary Ireland, most of us are only suffering from negative equity as opposed to anything resembling what those in Gaza are going through. But in terms of, overall, again, it's a big philosophical point, but do you think Israel's actions, which do seem to be based on violence and power, break the spirit of the Gaza resistance, or just cause hatred to fester and bubble over?
Well, the amazing thing about being there when we're in Gaza right after that attack, what you hear is a lot of frustration. But I was there not only with Jews, but some of them were Israelis, and there was anger, but not what I would call hatred directed against them. So one woman that we know who spends about half of her time in London, so she's easy to talk to, but she expressed that attack embarrassed Israel and installed Hamas. So, it's been a counterproductive thing, I think, from Israel's standpoint of what they've done. I think that it does nothing for peace. It drives the parties farther apart. But amazingly, you can still talk to Palestinians, and they will talk generally in terms of a shared future with a Jewish Israel. And that to me is amazingly, in some ways, amazingly generous.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us, Craig. It's been a pleasure speaking to you. I know your ongoing investigation, or agitating for a proper investigation still into events surrounding the death of your daughter, Rachel.
We are in a lawsuit that's ongoing in Israel. It's kind of on hiatus. So keep watching, but right now, keep watching the MD Rachel Corrie, and let's make sure that it gets through to Gaza.
Okay, thank you for that. That's Craig Corrie speaking to us, the father of the late Rachel Corrie. Now, for